Hey guys, Xiaomi. Today I want to make a quick video on which unit I think are the best SSR to reroll for, the best SR as well, from my experience playing in the beta and competing in many tournaments before the global launch in this game. And also my experience playing Summoners of for 10-11 years. So I've been playing turn-based game that this game is based on for many years. Which SSR is going to be the best for reroll? First, if you want to reroll, I think you should reroll for a PvE unit or unit that's going to be timeless, future-proof, that can support your team regardless of what meta we are going for. So what is the best unit for the casual player, for everyone out there? That is going to be Tiamat. I think everyone is going to talk about Tiamat because she is the best HP bruiser in this game right now. She can provide amazing AoE damage, she can provide shield for the team, heal over time, and she can also provide taunt, which is going to provoke the enemy to her. So not only she can do amazing AoE damage, she's going to protect the team at the same time, and when she lose health or get healed, she will transform into her demon form and do even more AoE damage. She is perma-ban in the PvP RTA in all tournaments. She is so strong in PvP as well. And because she's an HP type bruiser, building her is not going to be too difficult because you just need to stack HP on her, maybe a bit extra effect accuracy so that she can land the provoke, and that's all she will need. And she can do an amazing job for you in the early game PvE and potentially guild content PvP as well. So if you don't want to think too much about how to set up your team and you just want to have a solid AoE HP bruiser unit, then Tiamat is going to be your choice. A reminder, you are going to get Leon for free and you're going to get Linglo after playing for a week. And Linglo is arguably the best healer in the game. She provides so much healing in one single unit. So your team will have a decent AoE damage dealer in the form Leon and a very strong AoE healer. And if you have Tiamat, you have another strong AoE water damage dealer that's going to be easy to build and provide even more protection for your team. So keep that in mind. You don't have to go for a healer in your reroll because after playing for 7 days, you're going to get Linglo. So before that, you're going to get Dorothy for your healing needs, and that's going to be more than enough. So don't go rerolling for another healer, okay? The second best option for rerolling is going to be Doki, but she's going to be a light unit, so the chance of dropping her is going to be lower, which means you might have to take longer to reroll for Doki. However, Doki is the strongest support in the game. She has amazing speed buff and cooldown reduction, and in a turn-based game, cooldown reduction is one of the most broken mechanic you can give. She can allow all the unit to use a skill 3 back to back, which is insane because the way to balance turn-based game is that you give the epic hard-hitting skill a long cooldown. But with this unit, she can reduce that cooldown very quickly. She can boost the target turn meter so they can move more frequently. She also cleanse them with the buff that she can provide, and she can provide speed buff as well. So overall, she is an amazing support unit for your PvE quests, for your bosses, and your PvP as well. And she's also perma-ban in the high rank PvP in all the Kloss beta tournament. She is incredibly strong for most players out there, and because she's a support unit, like pure support, she provides cooldown support, which is universally good in all turn-based PvP game. She'll be relevant for a long time. So if you are re-rolling, you want to re-roll for a rare and future-proof unit, it is going to be Doki for sure. However, if you want to be different from the other, okay, if you want to be different, you want to be cool, and you want a red hair chick, because Leon, the free-to-play girl, is not good enough for you, then I think people don't talk enough about Veronika. So Veronika, to me and many other players in the Kloss beta tournament, was our underrated MVP. She can provide a buff steal that can apply all that buff to your entire team. So when you're facing heavy bruiser meta, which will happen at some point, they use a lot of buff, healing over time, and immunity. You can steal that and apply to your entire team and open up a slot for you to attack. So not only she can protect the team with the buff steal, she also allowed your team to zone in, defense break that single target enemy, and absolutely shut it down, which is really good. And she has an AoE skill that remove HP equal to her max HP. Alright, this attack will not crit. However, if you build her very tanky and fast, which is one of the easiest way to build in this game, because you can build triple HP slot with high speed substat, and she can be extremely tanky and remove raw HP of an enemy target. So she hard counter squishy damage dealer and defense scaling unit because she removed raw HP. If you build her with like 50,000 HP, she's gonna take away almost 10,000 of the enemy raw health. And that is really good against squishy damage dealer and defense scaling unit that need to be built with defense but not high HP. And she shield the entire team after that as well. So not only she's a buff stealer, she's also a buffer. So very solid unit overall with amazing skill that you can use to dominate PvP. And the best part, not a lot of people ban her. Okay, so she was being used quite a fair bit, and personally for me, she was the deciding factor for me to win matches in the tournament. So I think she's going to be an incredible unit for PvP. If you don't care about PvE, you think it's going to be easy, you're going to crush that with SR unit, then I think Veronika might be a very fun unit to play with. And because she's not a light and dark unit, rolling for her might be a little bit easier. The fourth unit I want to mention, but it's a dark unit, so it's going to be a bit lower chance to pull for this unit, but Lily is freaking incredible. And this game, you can pull for LD unit in the normal pool with the normal summon as well. So her skill 2 will buff her particular buff, the twin trick, and speed buff as well. Speed buff is always amazing in turn-based game. And the skill 3 can reset all skill cooldown allies with twin trick. So cooldown support once again is incredible in turn-based game. So she can do that while buffing team with speed buff and potentially crit damage buff as well. So absolutely incredible unit. And you can also use the skill 2 to immediately start the next turn of another ally with twin trick. And in this game, there's also shell, which is like pet system or the weapon system. They can allow you to use the same skill immediately after you use it in the first turn. So with the right combination of gear and shell, you can use this unit to abuse the cooldown system in the game and absolutely dominate in PvP. And the high base speed allows this unit to be super easy to build and useful in PvP. And the cooldown support doesn't relate only to PvP, because cooldown support can be so crucial for PvE as well. Imagine you have a crazy damage dealer. Let's say you hit pity on Messiah banner, okay? Because you guys are going to do it anyway. Messiah is one of the strongest AoE damage dealer in the game because it can do AoE almost ignore defense damage. It ignore 70% of enemy defense and passive, which is kind of stupid, by the way. So with Messiah and this unit, Messiah can spam skill 3 and absolutely destroy PvE. Okay, if you are into building speed team for PvE, I think this unit and Messiah, and if you happen to pull Doki, like holy shit, imagine this AoE ignore defense that can be used back to back. It's crazy. And one of the boss, the Doki boss that allow you to farm speed gear, is a boss that requires you to bring in AoE damage. So just a quick recap. We talk about Tiamat, Doki, Lily, and my underrated choice, Veronika. And for the last unit, I think I need to give a shout out to Kloss, because Kloss is an AoE raw debuff unit. So the skill 3 can AoE defense down, and she has a debuff that is unique to her, which is the hacking in progress, which is going to be debuff that cannot be taken away. It's gonna be there, and it's gonna allow you to debuff them with decreased damage dealt, decreased speed, and increased damage taken. So in this hacking in progress, you have attack break, defense break, and slow debuff in one debuff that cannot be taken away and can stack up as well. So she is all about AoE debuff, and there's so much debuff that she can bring to the table. And that is her specialty, because we're going to be given Leon, who's a decent AoE damage dealer. I think the best combination is going to be AoE defense break, and you kind of need that. And if you have Tiamat, and with AoE defense break, Tiamat's going to do even more damage on the enemy team, and that's going to be absolutely incredible. So if you want AoE debuff, which is also a very strong archetype in turn-based game, then Kloss is specialized in doing just that and very good at doing that job. However, you want to optimize your rerolling with the best SR as well, if you can. Not just the SSR. If you roll the best SR, then you're set for like a long time in this game. So the best support, in my opinion, for the SR section is going to be Sania. She provides amazing healing. Let's say a content requires you to build 2 different teams. One of them is going to have Linglo, the other one can have Sania. Sania can provide amazing healing with her passive. She can cleanse debuff in the same time. So when you can combine utility into one unit, like Sania right here, healing and cleansing, and not only that, she also freaking revive your team, which is incredible. So healing, cleansing debuff, and revive in one single unit, that is the definition of being a broken support unit. And she's also being banned here and there in top rank PvP as well. The moment unit get banned, it is just being recognized as being very good at what it does. So healing with passive, which means you don't have to care too much about cooldown, reviving, and also a bit of turn meter support in one SR package, which means you're going to get your hands on Sania very easily. So if you can pull Sania, please keep in mind for Sania as well. Next up, we have the AoE control duo. First going to be Kraken. So this guy can AoE freeze and attack bar or turn meter pushback. So the best way to control an enemy team in a turn-based game is when you can stack pushback, slow debuff, increase cooldown time, which is Lily skill 3, and some sort of stun, freeze, or sleep, whatever. So this guy can do 2 things in one skill, and his skill 2 can provide deep frozen, which will make the freeze 2 turns. So if you play Summoner Sword, this is going to be your Verad, but then he's only an SR character. And the skill 1 can provide defense break. So as a control unit, not only he provides very good control, he also provides the opportunity for you to do more damage with defense break in skill 1. So you can land defense break all the damn time with a skill 1. So he's a very solid unit, very good base speed as well. He's going to be very important for early game control playstyle in PvE and of course in PvP. Very good unit. On the other hand, we have the AoE dot guy, and you know, in every turn-based game, there's always a place for a dot team, and this guy is going to be that guy. So his skill 3 can provide dot for the entire enemy team and stun as well. If you play Summoner Sword, it's going to be your Fire Garo, very good unit, and the skill 2 can strip buff into dot. So AoE strip is not very popular in this game, and this guy can do just that and turn the enemy buff into continuous damage to do even more damage as well. And the skill 1 can also dot, so all 3 skill can put dot on the enemy, and it can provide strip and stun in one single package. Like, this guy cannot be an SR. He is just too damn good to be an SR. So if you can combine Kraken for the freeze and dot from Obol, you're going to be controlling the enemy team for a long time and burning them down slowly without investing in actual damage dealing stat, which means they can all be tanky and can still do good damage on the enemy team. I will also have to give a shout out to Marvell. So this guy was recently introduced with the new SSR. He's a new SR. He's going to be a light unit, which means getting him is not going to be easy. However, holy shit, he has AoE, slow debuff, and decreased target turn meter by 50%. So that is way too fucking good for a unit. Once again, the 4 horsemen of control is going to be slow, pushback, increased cooldown time, and stun. And this guy can have pushback and slow. If you pair with another unit can stun, you can lock down the enemy unit for a very very long time. So very solid unit, and it decreases enemy effect resistance, which means your follow-up unit can have less accuracy to land the debuff and focus more on damage dealing stat. He can also provide silence AoE on the enemy team, so even when they take a turn, okay, they struggle to take a turn, where they lose turn meter and getting slow, they get a turn, they're now being silenced. They can't use this skill properly. And his skill 1 can also steal turn meter. So that's going to allow him to steal turn meter from bosses, for example, allow your team to control the boss forever and do their damage. So he's gonna be like a soft version of the newly released Rosa. I think Rosa is gonna be very good for bosses as well, because Rosa can provide slow and can provide turn meter support with a skill 1, decrease enemy turn meter, and the passive allow you to do more damage on the enemies. So Rosa is gonna be great for bosses that are solo bosses, but I think this guy is going to be an amazing unit if you cannot get your hands on Rosa, but you happen to summon Marvell. And the last SR I want to give a shout out to is going to be Viper. So another underrated SR for PvP. If you happen to include this guy into your reroll, that's going to be great as well, because he can revenge when his team get attacked. So it's the kind of unit that doesn't need to get a turn, doesn't need crazy speed, because the whole part of the unit is to be attacked and then revenge, and the revenge can potentially lend silence on the enemy team. When he actually move, Viper can also provide attack down, speed down on the enemy team, which is absolutely incredible. It's an AoE skill, so AoE slow and attack break is going to be amazing for PvE, but for PvP, he's going to revenge and silence and do amazing damage when he revenge. So you can build Viper tanky with some accuracy to shut down unit that can provide AoE attack with the enemy team, but then Viper is going to come between and do a lot of funny stuff. But because the chance to revenge is not very high, it's not exactly amazing, and the base stat is kind of shit as well, because being an SR unit. So I wouldn't put Viper high in the priority list. It's going to be Sania, Obol, Kraken, and Marvell, and if you can put Viper in there, that's going to be great. The other SR can be useful as well, but if you don't get them, it's gonna be fine. But if you can get Obol, Kraken, Sania, and Marvell, it's gonna be an incredible time. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. I was about to do a short video, but then this one turned out to be kind of long. So hope you guys learned something from the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.